everyone. I'm going to be test driving the new FSD update, the latest 12.5 with vision only monitoring instead of the wheel nag. So everyone who has it is pretty excited, and it will be going out to regular customers. I'm going to put in an address, Best Buy, Best. Got the address, and I'm just going to activate. And the car is taking off. I thought this trip I would cover some information. A lot of people have talked to me and asked certain questions about the self-driving, so I thought I would maybe answer some of those questions. Currently, like I said earlier, the latest update allows you to use your eyes just to pay attention to the road. You do not have to touch the steering wheel at all, and it will drive you from point A to point B. And it is currently the best build that they have to date, the most natural. I've driven it a few times earlier, and it's been really good so far. I'm going to drive from my house to Best Buy. I have something I need to pick up, which says it's about 16 minutes. But one thing I wanted to kind of highlight is I've had a few different Teslas. My first one I got in 2020 was a Model 3. It had FSD, or the autopilot with FSD already on it because I bought it used. And at first it worked great, mostly on the highway. It would stay in its lane. You could turn lanes or switch lanes. And it was really comfortable and nice for driving when you're going on trips. It did have the wheel nag, so every so many minutes it would flash at you on the screen, and you had to adjust the wheel a little bit or just put a little pressure on it to let you know you're there, and then the message would go away. But it still drove itself, even in the sharpest corners. You know, it handled it very well for the most part. As they kept developing and upgrading the software, they went from version 9, FSD 9, to FSD version 10, FSD version 11. They kept getting better. And again, like I said, it was only mostly on the highways it would work. As soon as you took an off ramp to go get off and to go under another street, it would disengage. But then I think it was somewhere in FSD 11 or 10 or 11, then they enabled city street driving, and it worked, but it was very jerky. And when you come to stoplights, at first it would stop. It wouldn't even go through stoplights, but then they enabled an update allowing to obey the traffic lights. When I would go to roundabouts, it would never. It would come up to a roundabout, and it would just stop. It wouldn't continue through. So I think in version 11 is when they actually got the traffic lights and roundabouts where it would drive, and it did a decent job, but it was very unnatural. My wife didn't like it. A lot of people that weren't, used to it, it would be kind of scary somewhat, because for the most part, even though it drove correctly, it felt unnatural, and people were concerned that it wouldn't drive right. But earlier this year, in like May, I think, they released version 12, and it's based on AI, or uses AI for its driving. They removed 300 lines of code, and it's more on they call it where it learns. So it uses the driving from all the cars, and It learns from all the drives to make it a better model, and that's what we currently are on, and it's much more natural. A lot of people say it passes the life test because it feels more natural. It's not so jerky. And with this latest build, the most biggest thing that they brought with that is you no longer have to touch the steering wheel. You can drive completely hands-free, but it uses your monitoring with your eyes. So there's a camera right here, and it watches your eyes. It's actually very attentive, so even if I look at my screen for a little bit, it'll start yelling at me and tell me to pay attention. All you have to do is look back on the road, and it's fine. So how you know the camera monitoring is enabled, there's a little green dot right here in the screen. So come to the roundabout, let the car go through. It feels real natural. Continue going on, staying in the correct lane. Again, I've used this in the past, and I mean it worked, but it was, you had to really be careful. Where now it's so much more natural. I use it literally 95% of the time when I drive. So anyway, back to the green dot. There's a dot there showing that it's watching your eyes. If you have a Model 3 or a Model Y and you don't have a secondary screen, your green dot is up here in the corner, I believe. So that's how you know it's active. So we're working on the highway here. So I'm gonna look away for a little bit, and you're gonna see right here. It says pay attention. So all you need to do to get it to go away, you just look back up again. But sometimes even if you look just for a second, it starts to warn you and tell you to pay attention. But again, all you need to do is look straight ahead, look at the road, and then that message goes away. So it definitely makes it a lot more comfortable and easy to drive. Currently, you cannot drive with sunglasses on. I have my sunglasses. It's changing lanes, getting the best lane. There's a car up there, so it sees it. So I'm watching it pass. I put my sunglasses on, and as soon as I do, you're going to see that it's going to pop up on the screen. Attention monitoring unavailable. Sunglasses used detected. So the little light, green light goes off, and now it's basically relying to the standard monitoring, which is the steering wheel. So it probably will work for a few minutes here, but then it's going to start putting a message on there, and I have to hit the steering wheel. But if I take my sunglasses off, then 30 seconds or so here, it will pop up another message. Attention monitoring active, and then the little green light comes back. So as of right now, you cannot wear sunglasses if you want to use FSD, but Elon Musk did say that very soon, as they keep validating the FSD, that you will be able to wear sunglasses. Doesn't mean you can't use it, you just have to use egg with the steering wheel, but they are working on incorporating that, so at least that's a plus. But it's something that we can kind of keep track of for now. The little bit that I drove so far has been really nice. What I did notice when you go to get off the freeway, it's a little indecisive before it finally goes off. But again, I'm sure they'll probably be pushing another update out this weekend, maybe next weekend. I would bet by sure, and that'll be addressed, because what they're ultimately going to be doing is going to be uniting the highway bill and the city bill little bit of a drive, so 7 minutes. Another thing I thought I'd maybe talk about is I usually get, when I talk to people about the self-driving and Teslas and going from electric from regular gas cars, I usually get three common questions. The first question I get is, how far can you go on a charge? People are always concerned. Range anxiety. How far can you go? How do you charge? Do you ever worry about running out of battery? Those type of questions. So the first question I'll answer is most cars, Teslas or even non-Teslas, Kias, Hyundais, Fords, the standard range that they produce are anywhere from 250 to 300 miles now. For Model 3s for Tesla, they're 300, 320. They just released a new model, long range, rear-wheel drive that's 360 miles, which is really nice, I think. The Model Ys are anywhere from 310 to, they go down 280, 290 if you get the performance. It also matters on what tires or wheels you get. If you get the bigger wheels, more sport wheels, they will get you less range. They look cooler, people like the look, but you will get less range. But still, it's not bad for range. Now, the stated range you get isn't always going to be the actual range that you drive. Sorry about that. I think someone's trying to call me. So I was telling me to pay attention because I was looking down too much. So I had to actually wheel for that. But anyway, back to what I was saying. The basic range you get that is stated isn't always accurate. A lot depends on wind conditions, the temperature, how fast you go. But for the most part, you can get, if you go from full charge to empty, 250 miles, 200 miles. But oftentimes you don't always go down that low because you don't drive that much. And the other thing you need to think about is it's not like driving from gas station to gas station. Most people will have a charger at home that you can plug in and charge, and you just charge every night. So you basically have a full tank of gas every day. So it's really, once you adjust your thinking and your driving styles, it's actually really easy, and you don't ever have to worry about running out of range. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a while. But the second question, our third question I had is charging from home. So I installed a 240 charger. You can get a mobile charger that you can plug in and get 240 out to your garage, and any electrician can help you with that. Most houses have 240 down in their fuse box. You just have to run the 240 to your garage, and then you can get a Tesla adapter. All the car makers make their own adapter. And it will, even if you get it mostly, even if you get it used up and you have very little charge left at night, it'll be fully charged by the time you get up in the morning. So that works really nice. Now those that have apartments or don't have access to that can make it challenging. You might have to rely more on superchargers. So as we keep going on, the governments are building more and more chargers. when I first got my Tesla, there was one supercharger in the Milwaukee area. Now there are 5 or 6, I think, which makes it convenient. I very rarely use them here, if at all. I think I've used them twice. That's because I just charge at home. Most times I use superchargers if we're traveling. My car is a Model S, and it actually has more range, almost 400 miles, which just makes it super convenient. I can go from my house in Milwaukee to my parents in Minnesota, which is the other side of Wisconsin, and last time I did it, I still had about 30% charge. Didn't have to stop, which is really nice. But if I would, there's multiple chargers along the way. There's one in Boston, Wisconsin Dells, Toma, La Crosse. So if I needed to, I could stop at any of those. And there's maps you can look at, and it shows you all the chargers in the area. And if it'll tell you how many miles you have to get to each charger, how much charge you're going to have left, how many people are waiting in line to charge. So it really makes it easy and convenient for you to know, to plan, and it actually maps it all out for you. And you can even do it right on your phone and put the address in, and then you can send that destination to your car. So when you get in your car, it'll take off and go. We've taken our Teslas from Wisconsin to Florida twice, and once from Wisconsin to San Antonio, Texas. And it really wasn't bad at all. There's most times when you are on a trip, after driving 2-3 hours, you kind of need a rest. You want to stretch your legs, so you stop to charge. You go in, everyone uses the bathroom, get some food, get a snack. Usually there's like a gas station or a restaurant close to where the chargers are. They like to conveniently place them for next to areas where people can go and get some refreshments. A lot of times we'll be inside the store and I'll get a message on my phone saying your car's ready to go, because you only need to charge until you get to your next stop. So it makes it really convenient that way, and it's a lot more affordable than gas. Currently I have some free supercharger miles, so our last trip we went to Florida, I didn't have to pay anything. Thanks, Sam. But otherwise, you will pay more at superchargers, but then at home. All right, so here I'm at, and it stops here, so it won't actually quite pull to a parking spot yet. I think that it is going to be coming in a few updates, but you can do auto park. So I'm just going to pull up, and you're going to see here that it shows a parking spot. So I'm going to select that parking spot. It's a little slow, but let's see how fast it is. And it backs you right in. Again, I don't usually use this that often because, any basic user or person can just pull right in and be done. But if you're trying to get parallel park or in a tricky spot, sometimes this can be perfect because there it parks. So that works out pretty well. So maybe I'll show you real quickly here before I hang up. Let's say I want to put in a trip where I want to go somewhere, so I'll just put Orlando, Florida. Orlando. Not that we're going to go there, but it shows my current state. I have 242 miles of range currently, so it maps out all the stops I need to take. So my first stop I need to stop in is Merrillville, Indiana. It says I'll have 12% battery left, and 156 miles. It'll take me 3 hours and 12 minutes to get there, and I think it'll even show me how long I need to charge when I get there. But that all varies a little bit too. And then after that, you just have your next stop somewhere down south of Indianapolis, then Nashville, and it maps your whole route down there to Florida. So super easy, super convenient. Let's say you stop ahead of time, there are still multiple chargers in between. It doesn't show because of where we got it's mapped out, but if you would take off the if I would cancel the trip, it would show all the superchargers that you have. All those in red are the actual superchargers. The biggest reason why I like Tesla is they have the best supercharger network and the most reliable supercharger network. So that is that for now.